Let's have a good one and see how wrong I am at the end of the year. Hello! 6 months ago, I made predictions about how this NHL season was going to go, and let's just see how I was wrong before we jump into my bracket for this year. Before we dive on in, this is the first time I've watched this since I posted this, really. I wanted to clarify how I'm going to be doing this because obviously I didn't have the Canucks as winning the Pacific Division, but that's like one team I was wrong about, right? And so if I put them in 6th, and I was wrong about that, but the order of the rest of the teams is the right. I would say that I generally predicted the divisions correctly, minus one team or the other. So I'm going to be looking more at order than at final placement. Starting with the Pacific Division. San Jose Sharks, that was good. Knew it. Ducks 7th. Good. Canucks. Kraken, yeah, okay. Minus the Canucks, and then swap Vegas and LA because, I couldn't predict the amount of injuries that this... Switch LA and Vegas and then move Vancouver from 6th to 1st. And yeah, no, the Pacific Division was in the general correct order. Vancouver obviously just had a great season. Congrats to them. They have had this roster for a while. Having Demko be completely healthy, well, mostly healthy throughout the season, definitely helped that. Congrats to them for overperforming the expectations of everyone else. They've had this talent all along. It's good to see them finally live up to it. I went to the Metro in the East next because fun. I am so sorry, Flyers. I know I was only wrong by 2 positions here, but the Flyers definitely had a great first half of the season and were able to hang on to that for a while. And I gravely underestimated their abilities, even though I was barely wrong. Columbus, yeah, Islanders and Caps. Oh, Rangers! Okay, I was completely wrong about this division. I was too bullish on Erik Karlsson bolstering the Penguins and putting them back into the playoffs. Obviously that didn't happen. The Capitals, the Islanders, and then the I was so wrong on this division, especially with New Jersey, and tough season for them. Rangers, I will not doubt you again like that. Terrible score for that Metro division. Central Division, I was correct about Dallas, and then Winnipeg, I should have had you higher, and Minnesota, I was too high on you. And then the Preds, I was too low on you. Wow, bad second division in a row. That's terrible. I should have known better. I was right about 1st, 7th, and 8th. Moving on to the Atlantic, I was right about the Canadiens. The Senators, should have had them lower than Detroit. Detroit, I should have had you higher, but I guess not really at the same time. Sabres, you disappointed your fans again this season, and that should be the top of the priority list there because, the organization of the fans, that's the most important. But you disappointed a lot of people this season. I think that I don't know what happened. I was expecting a bigger leap from you from last year, but I mean, it's the Sabres. When will we learn? Move them down, and then move the Red Wings, Toronto down. I knew Florida was going to do well again this year. I just had Toronto beating them. Honestly, very wrong. Yeah, so this playoff bracket's gonna be different, right? Not this at all correct in the same way that this one was. Hello, and welcome to my corner. The different setup. So for this year, I figured I would go through my brackets in 2 different ways. I'm gonna have my son also pick after because that's gonna be fun. And let's throw my wife in there as well. So for my main bracket, it's gonna be, of course, Vegas winning it all because that's how I am as a fan. I'm, of course, gonna be cheering for my team to win it. And I would rather be wrong cheering for them to win than to be right cheering for them to lose. So that being said, I'm gonna go through this bracket, which is mostly gonna be the same from other ones, but the other one is a bracket where Vegas can't even make it to the finals. So I'm going to have 2 brackets that way, and then my son's and my wife's. That being said, Vegas obviously going to move on. Thanks for the great pick. I love that. That's great. I'm going to have a rematch 2nd round against Colorado, or a rematch 1st round from last year against Winnipeg / Western Conference Finals from the inaugural year. Man, it really depends on Hellebuck. I see Colorado pulling it through. I'm okay to be wrong. I don't care. I don't pride myself in being right in all scenarios when it comes to hockey. Yeah, Vegas versus Colorado in the 2nd round. That'll be fun. Vancouver is who I'm gonna pick for the Pacific after that. They posted a rap video, which last year Edmonton did, and the year before Calgary did. Both those teams left in the 2nd round that year, so the pattern's gonna repeat, but they have to make it to the 2nd round for that to happen. So sorry, Nashville. And then Edmonton. I'm going to say Vegas in 6. Pete DeBoer is perfect in Game 7s, and Vegas will finish on home ice. Similar to last year, although Vegas was up 3-0, and then, yeah, anyway. Colorado, Winnipeg, I see 7. Vancouver in 6 over Nashville, and Edmonton in 5 over LA. Not because I think LA is bad, but just because I think Edmonton is hungry and they know how to beat LA. Hopefully LA puts up more of a fight, though. I would love to see that. On the East, I have Florida, and then Toronto can slay. They slayed the one demon last year. I say they slay another one this year. Oh man, that means a rematch. Man, it sucks being a Maple Leaf fan, eh? Toronto's gonna have to get it done in 6. They will lose Game 7. New York is gonna beat Washington. I don't think it's gonna be as easy as probably most people think it will be, but I just like New York's odds there. And then Carolina over New York Islanders. I'm not picking a lot of upsets here. Florida over Tampa in, let's say, 5. Toronto over Boston in 6 because they will not win Game 7. New York over Washington, and I'm going to say 6. And then Carolina over New York in 7. Okay, Vegas, obviously. And then I'm going to say it's going to be Edmonton because Vancouver released that rap video, which means Western Conference final of Vegas versus Edmonton, which should just, that actually fills the NHL's revenue thing. So let's go with that. And then I'm going to say Florida bounces Toronto in 6 or 7 this time instead of 5. But yeah, I slept on New York in my season predictions, but Carolina at Gensel, and I picked Carolina.
Rangers, I will not doubt you again.
Which is a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals like last year. I'm going to say Carolina goes though. And then Vegas, because, yeah. Medieval Maniacs versus Caniacs, Stanley Cup Final. That should be fun. And plus, I like Carolina. They are not terribly far from where I'm at. So maybe I can, drive to sit outside the arena for a game. Because I don't have, the money to make it in. But yeah, Vegas, obviously, the Stanley Cup champion tiebreaker. Vegas in 6 or 7. And I'm going to say 4 to 5 goals each game. So, 32. Creating a new bracket now. I cannot pick Vegas to make it to the finals, and I'm gonna just say for this bracket, I'm gonna have them out in the first round. And that will be disappointing because I'm a fan, but also not bad because we just won the Stanley Cup last year, I want them to win it every year, but yeah, I'm gonna pick Dallas. And I don't wanna go completely opposites, but I'm gonna here for Winnipeg, and then I'm gonna pick Vancouver. And let's go Edmonton. So either way, I have Nashville and LA out in the first round, which is sad. Dallas in 7 because Pete DeBoer with his Game 7 victories, and I want Vegas to do well despite the fact that I have them out in the first round. Winnipeg also in 7, Vancouver in 6, and Edmonton, and I'm going to have them in 6 this time. East, I'm going to have Florida still and Boston this time, which is a rematch of the first round from last year. So either way, Florida's battling people they've already battled, which is just great. I'm going to have New York, and I'm still going to have Carolina. But this time, I'm going to have Carolina in 6, Washington in 6, Boston in 7, because just lol. And Florida in 7 for this one. So 7, 7, 6, 6. Great. And then I'm going to have Dallas, and I'm going to have Vancouver beating Edmonton. I like Vancouver. I lived there for a couple of years, as in I will say that in probably every video that has Vancouver in it. Then for the East, I'm going to say Boston gets revenge for this bracket, and then I'm going to say New York. I'm going to have Vancouver in the final versus New York. The reason being, I just like Vancouver, so if Vegas wasn't to win, I would hope Vancouver is able to get there first, simply because I live there and I have connection to people that would love that. Dallas is looking like a wagon, and I think that they could win the cup this year, but this is my bracket and I'm gonna do what I want, so I'll submit. Any of these teams can win the Stanley Cup this year. I do want to say that because this is the NHL, the best sport in the world and the most unpredictable. Tiebreaker, I'm gonna say for this one 29 for good old Marc-Andre Fleury, and then submit. I need to rename it. So I'll throw my son's, he's asleep right now. I'm gonna throw my son's in and post edit, and then my wife's as well. All right, Logan, we're gonna pick who's gonna win, yeah? Vegas or Dallas, the Stars?
Stars.
Oh man, all right, disowned. Just kidding, I love you. Jets versus the Avalanche, who's gonna win?
Avalanche.
The Avalanche. Stars Avalanche. You picked the Predators to win over Vancouver?
Yeah.
Okay. And the Oilers or the Kings?
The Oilers.
Oh, man. How many games? 4 or 5, 6, or 7 for Dallas, for the Stars?
7, 5, 6, 6. Panthers.
Do you know who that is?
Lightning.
Okay, who's going to win?
Lightning.
Lightning? Who's this?
The Leafs.
And the Bruins. Who's going to win? Leafs or Bruins?
Leafs.
Okay. Rangers or Capitals?
Capitals.
Cool. Hurricane or Islanders?
Hurricane. 4, 6, 7,
7.
5.
Stars or Avalanche? Who's going to win?
Avalanche. Oilers.
Man.
Lightning. Hurricanes. Oilers.
Son, what are you doing to me?
Hurricanes.
And then who's going to win the Stanley Cup? The Hurricanes or the Oilers?
The Hurricanes.
Oh, thank goodness. How many total goals are going to be scored?
8.
Pick a bigger number.
31.
31. Okay, good job. That's your bracket. Let's see how you do. Dallas or Vegas? You don't have to explain
Vegas.
anything. Oh, sweet. At least one family member has my back.
Colorado. Canucks. Oilers.
Okay.
6. 5. 7. 5.
To the east.
Tampa. Toronto.
You know they lost tonight, right?
Maple Leafs are going all the way. Capitals. Hurricanes. Wait, where's the Kraken?
They didn't make the playoffs.
Well, then this whole thing's rigged. 5. 7.
Toronto winning a game 7? Okay.
6. 4. Wait, is it 4 out of 7?
Yeah,
They have to win 4 straight?
yeah.
Okay, never mind. 5.
Also, just a heads up, the Rangers were the best team in the regular season, and the Capitals are the worst team to make the playoffs since there were more than 20 teams in the league. Bay,
The
Toronto.
Rangers just don't have a very cute look. That's just hard. These were 2 of the ones I wanted to make it first.
Does the analysis help?
I'll pick Tampa.
Tampa over Toronto.
I'm so sorry. Carolina. Vancouver.
I'm not gonna get mad. Pick whoever you think is actually gonna move on. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but that's because we have depth, right?
Yeah.
I'll go Vegas. Otherwise I feel terrible.
You could pick Colorado. Don't feel terrible.
Vancouver.
Vancouver to the Stanley Cup final.
Carolina.
Which team will win the Stanley Cup?
Carolina.
Carolina Hurricanes.
42. It's a hard choice.
So-
Maybe I should have had the Maple Leafs going all the way.
You feel confident in your picks?
Nope.
Any last second changes you want to make?
Nope.
Anything you want to say to
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Hunger Games? Nice. That's my predictions for the Stanley Cup finals, the Stanley Cup brackets, the whatever playoffs. And, I was wrong in the regular season. Let's be right in the postseason with my first bracket and Vegas repeats, have another banner to hang. Obviously, your picks are going to be different than mine and my family's. Please just tell me what I got wrong very, very badly, and who is going to win the Stanley Cup, which team is going to have the first suspension in the playoffs. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's interview. Thank you so much for joining me. Please don't mock me too hard in the comments. That's going to be it for this one. Have a good night.